Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by Money Stocks. Today is Thursday, February 28, 2013. Thank you all for tuning in. There's a lot to cover. Let's jump right into the charts. We'll start off with the usual S&P 500 E-mini futures. You'll see that the futures are trading higher by about a half a point right now to around 15, 16 and a quarter. Markets are holding steady today. Yesterday they did stage a mega rally, so you did have a broad-based move higher. Markets really have surged. It's been a wild trading week with the big sell-off on Monday, and then you had Tuesday and Wednesday the markets pretty much recovering most of their gains. For the most part, the Dow Jones Industrial Average did cover all of its gains, making new highs. So again, markets are holding steady today. It looks like their markets were rejoicing yesterday, Tuesday and Wednesday, basically over Ben Bernanke's testimony in front of the U.S. Congress. Bernanke basically saying that the easy money is here to stay. We're going to keep printing more money, and that's really the reason why every market in the globe continues to move higher from that same saying. Last night in the Asian markets, they were up across the board. You had the Nikkei 225 index surge higher by 2.7%. It looks like they put the central banker they wanted into power, so they have a new central banker there leading the central bank, and he promises to print more money. So Nikkei had a big surge. Also, the Hang Seng and the Shanghai were both higher by about 2%. The Shanghai was actually higher by 2.28%, which was a huge move. So the Shanghai index catching a huge bid last night. Now, what traders need to know about is that the Indian Sensex, the Bombay Exchange, that market was down sharply. So that was down 1.5%. Down about almost 300 points. I think it was down 290 points. So traders want to watch today a lot of these Indian ADRs. One of them is Infosys. Another one is Tata Motors. These stocks, the Indian ADRs, you see they're already starting to gap down. These stocks might be weak this morning, so you want to be a little bit careful. If the U.S. markets are strong, the Indian ADRs will probably hold up fine. But if the U.S. markets are weak, the Indian ADRs could be susceptible to further downside. I do not know the exact news that took place in India last night, but I think it was just it may have just been a lack of growth or something of that nature. But either way, that index did not catch a bid last night, and that should be noted that the Indian ADRs could be on the weaker side today. Okay, so we'll see how that plays out. Now, looking forward into our markets here. We do have the European markets before we get going. We do have the European markets today trading slightly higher. Italy is down a little bit, only down 0.2%. The rest of Europe is slightly higher, not a big deal. We do have gold down again today, so let's take a look at the GLD, which is a good proxy for gold. The GLD is trading at 154.19. That ETF did close at 154.57. So it is slightly lower from yesterday's close. And spot gold is down about $7 today to $15.90 an ounce. You do have oil flat on the session. So let's take a look at the USO. The USO this morning is really trading around that flat line as well. Closed yesterday at $33.40. Today it's trading at $33.41. So not that big a deal right now for the USO or spot crude. But I would think that oil would have gotten a better bid yesterday. It really did not, but the energy stocks themselves were up sharply, and that lifts the markets. Remember, the energy sector accounts for roughly about 16% of the S&P 500. So if you get the energy sector to roar and soar, you'll get the market higher. Plus, Exxon and Chevron are two big components in the Dow, and the Dow is a price cap weighted index. So if you get the Dow up, with maybe two or three big stocks like IBM, Exxon, and Chevron, you're basically going to have a much higher price on the Dow. There is economic news out right now, so I'm going to flip back to the futures real quick. It doesn't seem to be really moving the markets, but it looks like you do have the GDP revision to about 0.5%. You also have, I think, some other economic news out as well. But there's a lot of economic news coming out at 8:30. You'll also watch for more economic news out at 10 o'clock. And I believe there is some more at 11 o'clock. So a lot out at 8:30. You have the GDP estimate for I think growth estimate for these fourth quarter, and then, or maybe it's the first quarter. I'm not even sure. But either way, we only care about the market's reaction. And right now, the markets are holding up fine. At 10 o'clock, you'll have Chicago PMI, and I think 11 o'clock there is some other economic data out. There are some gaps out here, most notably J.C. Penney's. So I think I've isolated a level on that. I will post that up in the chat room in a little while. We're also looking at a few other stocks out here. Another stock that got slammed yesterday was GRPN, which is Groupon. Everybody gets that in their email. This stock is getting hammered this morning. I have a couple levels for that one as well. So those will all be posted up a little bit later this morning. There are some other gap plays out here. I think about 3 or 4 others. We'll see whatever we can come up with. But right now, what I think traders should focus on is the U.S. dollar index. Yesterday, the dollar sold off. The market caught a bid. Today, the dollar is basically flat at the moment, and you'll see that we have pretty much a flat market ahead of the opening bell, and that's where we stand. It looks like the weekly jobless claims report was just released. Jobless claims went down 22,000 and 344,000. So that looks like a little bit of a positive. But again, the futures are not really doing much off of this. And I think traders need to focus on that U.S. dollar index. U.S. dollar index starts to move higher. That will be a negative for the markets, especially anybody trading the euro or things of that nature. So again, that should be watched closely. All right, with that said, everybody, I want to wish you all a great trading day. And for those of you in the chat room, get ready. We should have some gap action this morning. Have a great morning. Have a great afternoon. And we will see you all tomorrow. Take care now.